Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's get it.
Yo, this is about to really hurt some people's feelings. So if you a little sensitive, you might as well turn this joint off right now. Okay? How you afraid to drop a dime when you already dropped a dime? Got a wife at home, but you steady on my line. Talking about shorty, you remember when I grind slow? Did I really blow your mind though? Nah, you got me confused with your other booze. I've been peep game, so I never gave a cookie up. And that's why I got your wife on the line, man. And I hope she gets every single dime it rain. Niggas kill me, they put their fist up.
Hello, and thank you for everybody for tuning in to another episode of TK's Chronicles of a Black Sheep. Of course, we are, we are doing our awareness this month on those illnesses, diseases, things on that nature. All that also affect our Black community. You know, we try to bring the awareness on those things. So this episode is on sickle cell anemia. And we have our special guest on with us tonight. We have Dana Michelle. And she has a page on Instagram called Mothering Sickle Cell.
Yes.
Also, I have my co-host, DW.
Right on.
That's what we're doing. We're doing fight the power.
That's right on.
Okay.
I can get loose now. I'm trying to.
You didn't have pancakes today, right?
No, I had waffles, so it's hey, it could go either way today. It can go either way.
Yeah, when he had sugar.
Oh my gosh!
It's like like the kids when the kids have sugar.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, it could go either way.
Like I told you, we have a 2-man. I'm gonna have a 2-people meal of pancakes. Like if pancakes be like this.
Anyway, I got a question for Miss Michelle.
Are we just gonna kick it off like that? You ready?
He said it could go either way, so here we go.
Well, I got a list of questions, but I'm just start with the first one.
Okay.
The first one is what is the thought behind the name of your page, and what is your page about?
So the thought of the name of my IG page is just pretty much what I've been doing for so many years, is being a mother of 2 daughters with sickle cell. And so mothering sickle cell is, I don't even know how I came up with it, but it's pretty much just my life. And really, the page is just to share my experience. I've often been told that my experience is very unique, especially because I have 2 daughters back to back with the exact same illness. And just some of the things that I've gone through is very unique from other people's experience. So it's actually therapeutic in a way to be able to share, because I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm getting it out and not holding things in. So that's kind of why I started it. And yeah, I just hope it helps people pretty much.
Yes. So I found you on IG. I promise I don't know what it was. You popped up and I was like,
You were stalking, that's what it was. Stalking vibes.
I clicked and I read your description and went through and I was like, whoa, I definitely have to have her on the podcast. Like, definite. And we have been in contact for about 3-4 months now, going back and forth. And like, man, like your story is, like you said, you don't have only one, you have 2.
Yeah.
So you got the double dose.
Yes.
Man, like the S on your chest should be big and bedazzled.
I hope so.
Gold plated, because it takes a special kind I don't care what nobody says. It takes a special kind of parent when you have a child with a disability,
Yeah.
because there's a lot that goes within that. It just even it's like with parent, and then if you're the caregiver and the parent,
Yeah.
you have multiple tasks.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I like, and I'm going to add this on here. This is Cammie and Kyra.
Yes, my babies.
Yes, and this is one of the particular times that they're in the hospital together.
Yeah.
How often does this happen?
You know, I wish I could say it usually just randomly happens. It's thankfully it's never been like a back-to-back situation, but maybe once a year, once every so many years, it just so happens that they're both just not feeling it and they both have to be in. And in a way sometimes it's weird, but it's a good thing. But then in a way it's a bad thing, because they have each other there for support. But then at the same time, like both of my kids are in the hospital. So yeah, it doesn't happen. I think it may have happened maybe like 5 or 6 times total in their entire life. So it hasn't happened, maybe 7 times actually, but it's usually spread out for the most part. So yeah.
Got you. It's just so much. Oh my God.
It is.
When were the girls diagnosed?
So for Cammie, my oldest daughter, she'll be 18 tomorrow, actually.
Happy birthday, Cammie.
Yes. The test that they do when babies are born and you take them, I think it's like 7 days after the day, their birthday. And they do the blood test from the foot. Sickle cell is one of the things that they're testing for when they do that test. Wow. And so that test gets sent off to the state. And so it takes a while to get the results. So she was born in September. So about 3 months later, I received a letter in the mail from the Texas State Department of Health with her results that she was indeed positive for sickle cell anemia SS, which is like kind of like the worst strain out there. And then the same thing with my youngest daughter, Kyra. She was born in May, and I remember July 14th is when I got her letter, because I never thought that in my mind, there was no way that she was going to have it, because it's so rare to have back-to-back kids. And so I remember that day, July 14th, I went to the mailbox, got the letter, opened it up, and I just bawled, because I was just like, this cannot be happening. So that test is very important, because, had I not done it, I don't even know if you're allowed to not do it, but had I not done it, I would not know that that my girls were both sickle cell SS.
So I'm trying to wrap something you said kind of made my ass itch. So
okay, sorry about that.
You mean to tell me that the healthcare system didn't even bother to personally call you? They sent a fucking letter.
Part.
It's a letter, an official letter. Actually, I think I still have the letters. Actually, I didn't get a phone call, a knock at my door. It was a letter from the Texas State Department of Health.
Like a damn bill. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, and DW, you were thinking the same thing I was thinking when I was like, bitch, a letter.
A letter.
Yeah. The doctor didn't say, hey, we need to talk or some shit. It just send your letter. And probably, and I don't want to sound like an asshole. It probably said to whom it may concern. Like,
I don't even think it said that. It was literally just
wow.
a chart.
We're gonna drop this bomb.
Yeah, I had to, and it wasn't easy to figure out what the letter was about. You had to kind of go through it, and then finally you see it. Yeah. Yep.
Right on.
Wow.
And then okay.
Yeah. So, craziest thing, the episode before this, when we were speaking on Chiari malformation, because I have a friend that has it, and we were talking about the health system when it comes down to us. Now, one of the things I love is the girl's story made it to the New York Times.
Yeah.
And they're actually getting a revision to their story.
Yeah.
The thing that caught me on the top of the top of their story, it says these sisters with sickle cell had devastating and preventable strokes.
Yeah.
Kyra and Cammie never got a simple test that could have protected them.
Yeah.
Their story exemplifies the failure to care for people with the disease, most of whom are Black.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah, I was about to say you just stole my thunder, because that was gonna be my next question. Like, yeah, and it's like I said earlier. These are the reasons why we as Black people are hesitant to go to the doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know me, that'd have been my daughter. Man, I'd have flipped over every motherfucking bed in that bitch. Hey, call security. You could have been, yeah. I'm gonna let you know.
Like,
yeah,
it's
So
just.
let me ask you. So I'm about to go a little deep.
Okay.
A little personal. So are you doing this all by yourself, or is the father in the picture?
No. So
Okay.
I was married to my daughter, to their father. And for some reason, he was never really interested in parenting or anything like that. So even when I was married, I was a single parent. But thankfully, I do have my parents who live here. They're retired military, and they have been a super, the words don't even describe how much of a help they've been. But yeah, it's just me. Yeah, it's just me. Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting and fucked up at the same time, but okay. I'm gonna leave
it is, right? It is, but
I'm gonna leave the other part alone.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I like to shout out to them absent ass daddies.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. Sarcastically.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what? And like being a father myself, and I could understand to a point, because I have a son. I have a son, like biological son, and I can understand it will bother me if something like that happened to him. But everybody knows daughters have a different place in a man's heart. So
absolutely,
man.
But it's like I'm not trying to justify. But I could understand that it will be hard for not one but two. Yeah, that would be hard. But that doesn't excuse the fact that just walking
it's
out.
not excusing
that part.
Because I didn't run.
Exactly.
Right.
That
Right.
part.
Yeah. But hey, everybody can't handle it. So, and we don't have time for the week and we don't have time for it. So it's all good.
Hello. We buckle down.
Yes,
and
we
do what we have to do.
Get it done.
I honestly commend you guys for doing that, because that's rough, especially doing it by yourself. I mean, granted, I know you got the grandparents; they love their grandbabies, but
at the end of the day, I'm still by myself with my kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. When they go home, you still there with the two babies.
Yeah.
So when they diagnosed you, were there any other type of issues from the medical? It was just like, oh, hey, your baby got sickle cell, have a nice life, and going by business.
Pretty much. When I got the results, I did let the pediatrician at the time know, and then they referred me to a hematologist. And so then we kind of just got into the whole trying to get educated on it, but they don't educate parents on that mess. Like, I didn't learn nothing. I didn't learn anything. But yeah, so they started, as soon as she was diagnosed and her pediatrician referred her to a hematologist, she started being seen by a hematologist. And I was told that she wouldn't have her first there wouldn't be any signs of the illness until she was at least 1 or 2. However, she had her first pain crisis at 3 months where she cried for 3 days straight, night and day. I could not console her. I took her to the emergency room, and I didn't know, I was a new mom. I didn't know how important it is to take a child to a children's hospital because they know how to handle children. I took my daughter to a hospital that was not a children's hospital, and they did a spinal tap on her at 3 months, which was ridiculous. Even though I told them that she had sickle cell, but they just, in their minds, there's no way that she could be manifesting sickle cell at 3 months. So they were trying to find all kinds of stuff. Come to find out, she was having her first pain crisis at 3 months, but she just, you know, she was doing what she could to express it, but nobody knew. So
nobody understood it.
Yeah.
That is, wow.
Yeah, that was,
See,
I'll never forget that.
No, and then see, that's why I know I'm thankful that I'm not in that situation because we'd have been having this conversation VTC from Fulton County Jail or some shit. Yeah, I'd have beat the brakes off somebody that night.
Yeah. I've never been in a fight, but I've definitely learned how to. I've never been confrontational, never been one to speak up, but I've learned how, because of my babies. Like, you're not finna mess with my kids. Like, you can mess with me, but not my kids. And so I've grown some cojones over the years, and I've had to, because if I don't, then nobody else will. So
and that's real. That part is real, because that was me. Non-confrontational, but when it came down to my baby, this is mine, this is my baby. Like,
exactly.
Definitely. So for when the girls, as you stated, have a pain crisis, what consists of this pain crisis?
So that's the thing that I hate most about sickle cell, I think, is that it can be triggered by so many things. It's very moody. It could be extreme cold weather, extreme heat, a drastic change in the weather, the bariatric pressure in the atmosphere. It could be stress, dehydration. So many things can trigger a pain crisis, which is insane. But when they do have a pain crisis, most people with sickle cell have like specific areas that's their area that they always have pain in. So usually when either one of my girls are having a pain crisis, they're just having really extreme, deep, not muscle pain, but usually it's like super deep, like in the bone. So it's deep. It's like a really, my youngest daughter always explains, like, it feels like shards of glass going through her veins. Like, that's what it feels like. That's how she explains it. But when they're having that pain crisis, usually you try to keep them as hydrated, overly hydrated as possible, letting them rest, pain medications, which is a huge issue with them because they have, these people with sickle cell have been born with this illness. And so they're born experiencing pain. So fast forward 16 years later, pain is all they know. And by the time they're like 6 or 7, they're already taking Tylenol with codeine and hydrocodone. And so by the time they get to 16, trying to control this pain with narcotics is almost impossible. It's like a big wheel. Like, it just doesn't stop, and like stuff just keeps getting added to it. It's insane. Oh yeah.
This messed me up.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a pharmacist, honestly, because my kids, since they were little, I've made sure that they know how to tell the doctor themselves what medicines they take. But like I kind of am a pharmacist. I really am.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
have pill organizers, we have drawers, we have we have a
You know
ministry
what?
of pharmacy.
And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're saying that, because you took the time out to understand and figure out what's going on and everything, and how to maintain it and have the best quality of life. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, you've been dealing with this for 18 years and you still learning stuff. What about the ones who find out and don't know where to go? That's scary.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do. Anytime I do meet, I know my daughter's doctor. Oftentimes, when there's new parents with younger kids with sickle cell, they'll ask me, hey, are you willing to talk to the parent and talk? And I'm always willing, because there's so many things that I wish that someone had have talked to me about that would have helped me. Everything that I've learned has literally been from trial and error, unfortunately. And thankfully my kids are still alive, but it's just been through trial and error and learning and getting out of my feelings, and sometimes getting out of my feelings and sometimes getting in my feelings. But it's all been a huge learning process. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't know if you did it or not. You thought about writing a book?
I have. I just don't know how. Like,
Stop, pause, stop. Shh. Don't just the same way you had to figure out all of this stuff, the same way you can figure out how to write that book. Because you just looking at this, you have a lot of information that a lot of people, you can impact more people than you realize with the information that's in your brain. And I'm gonna just say it, you being selfish right now. You've been very selfish.
And but me talking to you guys is a step, because for the longest time, I just stayed in my own little bubble. I didn't talk to anybody. It was just easier that way. But I don't know why now I do feel like I do, even though there's other people that have a story, I do feel like something that I've been through can help somebody.
Yeah.
And I want that.
A whole lot. You can help a whole. And I know I'm hesitant to say this because a lot of people take it as pressure, but your experience alone can help the entire Black community, because it affects more people. Sickle cell affects more people than folks realize. For one.
Yeah.
And
it
then
really does.
There's a lot of, as you witness with yourself, there's a lot of misrepresentation in the medicine. There's a lot of misdiagnosis in medicine. There's a lot of people who don't look like us who will downplay what you're experiencing and say it's something else. So for you as a Black woman going through this, from not just from like you found out when it was like 16, 17, 18, from day one, you found this out.
Yeah.
And you continue and built this journey. You just don't understand the power that you have right now. I can barely speak English, but if you need help, we're gonna write this book.
Thank you. I want to. I have a lot. I have a lot to share.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this, and this is what I tell, because I work in the behavioral health field, and what I tell people: start a journal, but start at day one, and just let it flow, and don't be afraid to let the same emotions that you had at the time, to come out, for two reasons. One, it'll be very authentic. Two, it won't mess up the flow. And then the last but not least, it'll be a healing for you, because guarantee you, it's a lot of things that you're holding on to right now that you really didn't realize that you're holding on to. But you have a gift. You have a gift right now that can benefit generations, not just this generations. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you, like my best friend told me, just start. he threw podcast. He threw me into podcasting, and he was like, "Just start." And I was like, "What does that mean? I don't know." Just start. He was like, "That's getting started is the most important part. You learn as you go,
Yeah.
but just start." Because like I told you, man, we got to talking last night, and
I know. It wasn't even like talking to a stranger. It was awesome.
yes, and I feel it. Like it's here. And when I saw that, and I have pharmacy tech background, I was like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just damn.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of medication.
It is. It is for kids.
For kids. Yes.
Yeah.
For kids.
Not a 70-year-old.
No.
Yeah.
A child.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like I was telling you last night, one of the hardest, and you've even expressed that you've dealt with this as well. The hardest and most loneliest journey is being a parent and a caregiver.
Yes.
Because many people don't understand. They think our money run like it's flowing like the streams. Like
right.
We got endless money flow.
Yeah.
And then, oh, you want to go on this trip? Hey, you want to go here? Okay, well, hold on, because first of all, you think my money long. My money ain't long.
No.
Number one, because 9 out of 10 for my child, and for me to be able to do what I need to do for my child, I'm working a job.
Yeah.
That is not what I'm used to getting paid. Or I'm doing something that's out of my field. Like I said, I have pharmacy technician background. Yeah. That working in corporate don't usually fit that when you have.
Because corporate don't care about
nothing
going on.
Say what?
No. They don't care about nothing.
No. That's as worse as like when you see all the stuff on social media when they talk about when you die working for corporate, and before you didn't been in the ground.
Oh yeah, you're a piece. Yep.
They don't care.
Yeah. My job now, I'm not even dead. They constantly ask me, "Are you sure you don't want to maybe find something else?" And I'm thinking, I'm tenured. Why the hell would I even consider retire? Why would I resign? I'm not resigning. Yeah, they don't care. They do not care.
I know they don't. I know. That's why I'm not working in pharmacy.
Yeah, they don't care.
When it came down to my child and my job, I was like, I had to take that break and go forth. That's what I had to do. And hey, before I was gone a week, they had already filled my spot. But I'd been there with them for 10 years. They didn't care.
Stuff like that
no fucks were given.
There should be laws. Like, I feel like the FMLA, I feel like it's good. However, I feel like for parents who have special needs kids, there should be like, they can't put everything in the same box. And I feel like that's why it doesn't help everybody, because everybody's situation is like, even with you and I, we both have special needs kids, but our kids' needs have completely different, so you can't put both of us in the same box and be like, there you go. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's
Yes. Very much. It's very frustrating. And like you stated last night when we were talking, it's even frustrating when you keep having to explain why you're a parent or why you're doing what a parent is supposed to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And then their first question is, oh, well, you don't have any help? Well, wait a minute. Yeah.
Because that typical question, where they daddy at?
No, that I feel that should be a law. when you ask that question, you owe me some money because that is so out of line. I've been asked that so many questions, so many times. Are you a single parent? Are you a single parent home? Well, where's the father? What, the father can't take them to that appointment? That is so.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely been there. Definitely
Yeah.
been
You know
there.
what you should say when they ask that question? You should tell them, "Say I'm the father. I just had a sex change," and just to see what they say, see how they act. I'm dead serious. They want to get stupid. Like, hey, let's play with it. Let's have some fun with it.
I might have to try that because
Yeah,
I
let's have
literally
some
I
fun
was
with it.
just asked that maybe 2-3 weeks ago
Yeah.
by someone in my leadership. They asked me, was I a single income home? Just inappropriate. That
I'm
has
gonna just ask
nothing to do with it.
what was it? Ethnicity.
You know what? Every time I've had issues at work, it's always been from a female African American woman.
Really?
And every single time that I've had any issues at work, it's always been with a Black female supervisor. Always. Always. Always.
That's so sad. Like,
Yeah. Always.
Very sad.
And you know, one thing I don't want, and I think we talked about this too, I don't desire sympathy from anyone. But just humanity. Like, people just they don't care. And all of the supervisors that have screwed me over in the past and trying to in the present, they're mothers, they're Black women. Some of them have been single mothers. And I'm just like, I don't want to pass, but just be fair. Like, we're huge. Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't either. I definitely don't either. And what I don't like, I think when in those situations, because when I'm thinking back as you're saying this, it was Black women that were the supervisors or whatever else. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Because of my child's situation, or they knew my situation with my child, that's where they used me till they couldn't use me, till they used me up, because they felt like she gonna deal with it because she's in a situation where she knows she needs a job and she has this kid with this disability, so we can talk to her any kind of way because she's not gonna try and lose her job. We can treat her like shit. We can run her ragged and everything else. I've been that, and it's been Black women.
Yeah.
I've even worked with a Black woman that had a child with a disability, and they still treated me like gum on the bottom of their shoe. And
my supervisor now came to me and told me, I get it. I'm always going to fight for you. Her husband is disabled and she's the caregiver. And she been away for a trip, but she kind of set me up after all that. And I don't understand. I don't.
What?
It didn't work, but she tried it. She did try. Like a punk, though. She did it while she was out of town.
She said like a punk.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what's so exhausting too, because you know you're fighting for your kids, you're fighting against doctors and nurses and this and that, and then you got to go to work and you got to fight, and it's exhausting.
It really is. All my life, I had to fight. Yes.
Oh my God.
You have to advocate and you have to fight for your kids.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, with doctors, with therapists, with the goddamn pharmacy. You even got to fight with the pharmacy for your kids' medication.
Yeah.
Like, you are constantly fighting. Like, people don't understand when you are fighting for your child and you are in these trenches, because there's some people that ain't in the they child might have a disability, but they ain't in the trenches.
They're not in the trenches.
There's a difference.
There is a huge difference.
And you are literally fighting just for the regular stuff, the stuff to help your child be okay. Like you are constantly just in square mode all the time. And people don't understand. Like I've had people tell me, what you do for your child, if that was my kid, it wouldn't get done.
Wow.
Just sitting here, it's like sitting here listening to this. And I'll tell you, my mind's going two different directions. It's like, no wonder nobody really takes us serious when we try to stand up and say shit, because we do shit like this to our own. Like, like, instead of being like, okay, instead of trying to help each other, help one, teach one, help one, whatever.
Yeah,
we're doing shit like this, and I'm just like,
yes. Yeah. And DW, you know, the last few jobs that I worked at and what I've gone through. So
it's fucking crazy.
I didn't got screwed. Like, seriously taken advantage of. And I just be like,
so I'm gonna switch gears real quick.
I'm
gonna switch gears real quick. So how are the girls taking it? How are they dealing with it? Because I know, because they're teenagers, so it's a lot of emotions. It's probably a lot of things that they wish they can do because their friends are doing it, but they can't because of their ailment.
It's hard. One thing that was never brought up when they were younger, when, they were telling me they're going to be going through pain and stuff, is how it affects them mentally, their mental health, and it's huge. And it does affect them. Like my oldest daughter, she's always been very active. And I feel like being so active was almost like a deterrent for her to, kind of like distract her from the pain and the stuff like that. And so she's always been the type to be super, 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 super busy all the time. And that kind of helped her cope with the illness, which is weird. But then COVID happened and, she stopped playing sports and stopped doing stuff. And don't get me wrong, playing sports was not easy for her. It was very hard. But she wanted to, be the first person with sickle cell to play volleyball in college or stuff like that. But it was a really hard decision ultimately because of other reasons too. But at the same time, just choosing her health over the sport, just because it was hard on her body, very hard on her body. So that's been hard, having to come to the realization that, because I have this illness, it's, there's things that I can't do, or, I mean, she could do it, but it'd be risky. So and my youngest daughter, I feel like she's had it the hardest just because she hasn't really been able to experience the joys that come with just being a kid. Like she had her first stroke when she was 10. And it was very traumatic. It caused a lot of issues in school and with friends, and sometimes she's had to use a wheelchair because she had so much pain that she couldn't walk. And kids are cruel, and it's just all the way around. It's just been hard.
Kids are assholes.
They really are, just like their parents.
Yes, that part.
They are, like, literally.
That part.
I go hard for my kids, and when I tell you I'm the biggest punk, I'm scared. I don't like confrontation, but I will risk it all for my kids. And these kids be making you want to go up there and be like, yes, because they are evil. Yeah. And I don't understand. It's horrible. It's horrible. Like my youngest has not she's never experienced real friendship. She's never experienced, had just one good year in school where it was just never. So yeah. fingers crossed that maybe this year. I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah.
And where are you located in Texas?
She's in San
I'm in
Antonio.
San Antonio.
Oh, what school you going? What school they going to?
So they go on base to Randolph because I work for
Okay.
the government.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say if they going to like Jetson or some shit, nah.
But I've been thinking about moving. So my oldest is a senior, so she's going to graduate where she's at. But I have been considering moving my youngest to another school just because the school they're at is a good school, but it's a very small school. And my daughter's considered a transfer. So there's just some things that she could probably extra benefits that she can get at a bigger public school than that she's getting now. So I'm trying to decide because that's another huge monster is dealing with schools when you have kids with special needs. That is a whole I've learned so much.
Oh yes.
They don't tell you things that they offer. They want to label your kids special needs when they're not because they'll get or for different things because they get extra money. There's so much.
That's exactly what I'm about to say. It's a money thing.
So much stuff. Yeah. So much stuff that I didn't know about that my kids have a right to that nobody. It's
glad we're having this because you kind of you hit one of my questions already, but I'm finna go there with you also because when I was reading the article on the girls and it was talking about the stroke, and I was like, damn, these babies ain't even in their 20s, and are experiencing stuff that most older people are experiencing for strokes. Like I couldn't imagine. And then when I was reading where it said that the strokes that she had was so bad that they did cause a delay in her learning. And everything along those lines. And I'm like I was reading that and I was like, these babies can't catch a break. Like, damn. Like they can't catch a break. And just like you were just talking about, because I've been there as well. When your child needs certain things in school to help them, but either the school ain't trying to open that can of worms because it's stuff that they don't want to do, or they don't tell you because it's stuff that they don't want to do, but they are entitled to do it for your child. Yeah, I've gone through that, and my child has gotten held back because of that. But if you need an advocate, I have an all-star advocate that will get baby girl resources and stuff that she needs, and he will put you on game with those Texas laws, and he will enforce them.
I would appreciate that because I'm so tired of dealing with like literally this past school year. I would be on the phone or I would be emailing, and I would, by the end of the conversation, I would be so physically and mentally exhausted. Like I felt like I literally had been on the front line, literally at war with these people.
Oh yeah.
And a big issue I feel, and I hate it, but that's just the world we live in, that if people can't see it, they don't believe it. And a lot of times you can look at my daughters, you will never know what they go through on a daily basis. But because of that, trying to convince these teachers that my daughter doesn't feel well enough to be at school or whatever, it's so exhausting and it's ridiculous. And it's sad that these teachers aren't trained just to have some compassion. I mean, you shouldn't have to train people, but they're so insensitive and they're so ignorant, and they don't mind being ignorant to these things. And it's so disturbing. It really is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, when I tell you, I feel overly blessed to have him.
That's awesome.
Like when I tell you, when I gave him the first paperwork, he was like, oh no, he had it. Nope, they can't do this. Nope. And I'm looking at the paper like, damn, okay.
Like, I don't understand why they know that my daughters have this illness, but I still constantly get those letters in the mail about their attendance with the, I don't know if you've ever gotten one of those letters, but it's like this official letter they send out giving you the law about attendance and all that. But that doesn't apply to my children because of so why are you,
Oh yeah, I get you that information because
Thank you.
He's freaking awesome. And the thing that I love about him is he has 2 kids with disabilities as well, so he knows.
So my question is, I'm just checking. Maybe I'm retarded or something, but last time I checked, the parent has the ultimate say so over the child versus the school. So if you say that your child is not feeling well, that should be the end of it, right?
That's what you would think. But like she said, when money, because if the children are not in attendance, they're not going to get funded.
Yep.
But they already got money for the year. They give that's to me that's bullshit.
No, I'm telling you what it is. That's why a lot of the schools have changed their attendance practices. They push attendance. Like I've seen where a school, like they be calling first in the morning, they calling at their first half, they're calling. If you have not, your child ain't there, I've seen a school go pick some kids up to get them to the school because they need them kids in attendance. I'm telling you, look here, it's about that money.
I hate that. I hate that.
I've seen it. So I'm
really curious now. I'm more interested than curious. Cause now I'm on this whole been on this thing about if they can't provide it, you go get it yourself. Would it be beneficial for a school just for people with like a disability?
I mean, I will say this.
Because I think it's.
I feel it would be more beneficial to have teachers who were trained.
Yeah, that part.
To teach all children, whether
that's a whole other conversation. Because like the love them to death. I appreciate everything they do, but one, they're overworked. They're not
underpaid.
Yeah, so they're just like, just let me make it past this semester, and we can talk later.
Yeah. But at that same part, when they have that type of that mindset, there's other kids that suffer.
Yeah.
And I say that because I don't care what paperwork I provided from his doctor, he was being left in the dark. Even though they say they understood, oh, I have anxiety, I understand. Well, you wasn't understanding to his anxiety. So, and he here with you all day. So, like, it's not that simple.
Yeah.
At all. And even far as schools, for kids with disabilities, that would take a lot because disabilities, like
there's so many.
Yeah. So you looking at having a person that has this training in so many things, that can be very hard.
Yeah.
And I know even here, when I started trying to look up schools for autism, the closest school that I found was the Autism Treatment Center way over by the freaking airport. And you know I live over here on the east. So thinking me trying to take him over there every morning and then back.
Jeez.
Yeah. But with what we have enforced with his advocate, he's good.
That's great.
So that's why I'm telling you, advocate, baby, that open, it was literally like a whole new world when I got that advocate versus me trying to fight for myself, because I learned so much, even how the school operates. They go into a little powwow meeting before y'all even meet, so they already know what they have intended and planned, and they just shooting it to you at the meeting like it ain't never been talked about.
Just like my daughter's been in the hospital, and I've reached out to her. I don't even know what she is. Casework, I don't know, at school. And last thing I know is she said, administration was discussing it. This was like days ago. She's been in the hospital. She's missed already a week of school. Nobody sent any assignments. Nobody said, is she alive? Nothing.
I'm confused. What they discussing?
What they gonna do with her? I don't know what the plan is. I don't know, because that's what my thing was. I'm like, she's been out of school. So what is the plan? Like, she's been missing all these days of school. She's missing instruction. She's missing assignments. What are we doing? Just trying to have some kind of communication, and it's just exhausting. It is.
That sounds like a setup.
That's a whole nother job.
Yeah, and then for me, like my youngest daughter, she struggles with memory. So like, especially like math, anything that you have to like. You have to remember what you learned last week to learn what's this week. And so she really struggles with retaining things with her memory because of her strokes. Mm-hmm. And their only solution is just cutting assignments and teaching her the bare minimum. Like, nobody has figured out, like, there's got to be other ways. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of just like, let's just get her along kind of thing. Not how can we help her actually understand things? Yeah. It's yeah.
Let me go. Wait. Pause. Time out. I keep hearing it, but maybe I'm tripping. When you say strokes, is it stroke one or multiple?
No,
multiple. Yeah, wow. That's why I said that a few minutes ago.
My youngest, so. For sure, she's had
enough to where it's caused damage. Yeah. Yes, wow. It's caused damage. That's why she's having the delays with her education and stuff.
Yeah.
Strokes. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, like, people, and the first thing people will say, so ain't no help? Baby, it's real in these streets.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, if it wasn't which we had her on our prior podcast, Francine like opened that door for me with information. She opened that door and was like, look, contact these people. Once I contacted them, it's like it went to a trickle effect of me getting assistance and knowing what other avenues will open for me to help my baby. Because when, like you said, it was similar like to you getting your letter. When you find out, oh, hey, here, your kid got autism, take this paper. Take it where? What the hell am I supposed to do?
Not like, a brochure, not nothing. Just
they drop it in your lap, and then you looking like, what am I supposed to do with it? Like, what's next? Like, you literally have to. It's here. I feel like it's one of them things. Like, you just gotta know somebody that knows somebody that know, and to get the ball rolling. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, before she told me where to go, I was just like,
jeez.
Okay, what this mean? What am I supposed to do next? Once I got the ball got the roll, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Y'all have a whole autism program for real? It wasn't nothing I heard from being here, and I've been here pretty much all my life.
Wow.
But that resource circle in here, it's not there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not circulating on resources that are here. And it's really like little hidden gems.
Yeah.
Because you got to know the right place to dig, the right stone to push. And
that's like, hard.
It is, especially when you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I got a job. I got a kid. They got school. I got doctors. I got therapists. I got to call for this. I got to try to, like, I really wish people understood You if you get 5 minutes sometime, you doing good.
Yes.
Even just trying to have just the mental,
Yeah.
just that exhale. People don't understand. Sometimes you don't exhale for a while. You holding all that in because there's times when you can't exhale.
Yeah.
Like self-care with caregivers is that lost. It's like looking for a damn dinosaur.
What it is. It really is. Yeah.
People don't get it. One of the other things, and I've been here as well, reading through their story, you mentioned in there that you felt guilty.
I do. I try not to, but yeah.
So what do you feel guilty about?
Just because they wouldn't have this illness partly if it wasn't for me. And I didn't even know that I had the trait. And so I feel like if I had been more educated on just myself, that I could have made smarter decisions. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want any other children but the ones that I have. But I hate that they have this illness, and they have it because of my genes and their dad's genes. And so even though that was it was out of our hands, but it still is just like, I feel I am responsible in some way, because I am. So and it's crazy that you said that, because my youngest that's in the hospital right now, when we were in the emergency room, she just randomly was just like, I don't want you to feel bad about us having sickle cell. And she just randomly said that. And I was just like, what? And she just like, I don't want you to feel bad. She's like, it's not your fault. And she literally said that in the emergency room just a couple of days ago. And it was just out of the blue.
They know.
Yeah.
They
know.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so hard because when you see your kids just suffering, man, that is the worst feeling. That is, especially as a parent, because we want to fix everything,
Yeah.
And I think that part is like torture. Out of the whole situation, seeing your child just suffering and not being able to fix it, that is torture. There's no other way to explain it. It is absolute torture. I hate it.
Let me ask you, there's a lot of foundations out there that are set up for, I guess, supposed health. Have you reached out to any of them, and what was their responses?
So there is one locally that I affiliate with, and it's the Mark Thomas Sickle Cell Foundation. And they actually service Austin, San Antonio, and Houston, I want to say. And they have social workers that work for them. Actually, one of my best friends is a social worker that works with them, and she has a daughter who has sickle cell too. And they do offer lots of resources. They have a camp. Well, pre-COVID, they have a camp for kids with sickle cell, where and it's for all ages. They have like a separate camp for the younger ones and another one for the older ones. And the one for the older ones, they kind of start teaching them about, taking care of yourself, like knowing your body, learning your medication, if they're not already, just transitioning them into adulthood and stuff like that. They do a walk every year, trying to raise money so they can help people out. So, but it's just I feel like it's hard because San Antonio, of course, sickle cell is predominantly known to affect people of African American descent. But I've personally met people who are Hispanic. I am friends with someone on Facebook. I'm scared to ask her what their nationality is, but they look white. But two of their kids, a son and a daughter, have sickle cell. And so I hate that they give it this face. I wish that there could be like a national campaign for sickle cell, and they're actually showing the different faces and shades and races that actually do, even, it doesn't matter the majority. The fact is it affects a lot of different people. And I feel like because it has that face of African American, that I feel like that's why it is one of the least, if not the least funded illnesses in the US. And I really feel that way. And it's horrible, but that's just the truth.
Yeah, you're very honest. You're very honest, because I will even say with autism, usually I can't really say that I've seen Black kids that were,
That's horrible.
yeah. And then I was like, well, like I told you, when we go to meetings or classes, I'm the only Black person in the whole thing, and I'm solo dolo. Like, there'll be other people, nationalities, they're in there with their significant other, and I'll be there by myself. And there's been times where I've been in a class with the advocate, and he was like, I got you. You ain't by yourself. And I'm like, I'm good, And he was like, like, so I get it and I understand.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of times, like you said, a lot of times it's the face that's put there, and then they're looking like, oh, that's that Black disease. Ain't no money. Yeah, it's that thing.
And it's frustrating too, because not a lot, but there have been celebrities, athletes. There's an NBA player right now who has sickle cell. I can't remember his name. He's really fair skinned. I've sent him messages on Instagram, and I'm like, I know you don't want to be known for that, but do you know like what you can do to help? There's a guy in the NBA right now who has sickle cell. Yes. I wish I can, I'll send you his name.
Okay.
But yes. And there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's been an NFL player. They're not in the NFL anymore, but there's been people like, is it Karl Malone that used to play for the Jazz? Does he have a grandson or a son or somebody that has to? I'm just like, all these people that have direct connections to it, but nobody uses their voice, and I don't get it. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea.
You talking about Billy Garrett?
Yes. I was gonna say William, but yes.
What? Wait, William.
I don't know. That's what came to my mind, but I didn't say it.
Like she said, she was trying to think of who it was. So, hey, that's that thing. So, in where we kind of touched on the girls' mental health, as a caregiver and their mother, where does your mental health fall?
I do have a therapist, and it's long overdue. I just started to go into therapy. So the last like major medical emergency that my youngest daughter had, where she really almost didn't make it, I literally, while she was in the hospital, sought therapy because I felt like I was going to lose my mind. Like, it was crazy. And then after a while, I kind of just got busy and didn't think about it. But most recently, maybe the last 6 months, I started doing therapy again. And it's been great because I don't know. I have a hard time talking to other people about what I go through with my girls, just because, for one, nobody's going to understand. I mean, of course, nobody's going to understand. And then it's like, you get the same questions and you just get the sad looks. And I don't know. It's just, to me, it's hard for me to open up to people about that.
You feel like you being, like the pity party.
Yeah, and that's not my intention, but sometimes you do need to just vent and make sure that, like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, I'm okay for feeling like this, or just letting stuff out. And And especially because I'm single, I don't have anybody to talk to at night and just be like, look, this is what it is, and not have to worry about being judged. So I really realized that I need that to talk to somebody. So yeah, I'm a work in progress, because just from like experiences with my girls, I have anxiety. So, and yeah,
I know that mug. Yeah. I like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So it's been great. And that's, people always ask me like, I don't even know how I do it. Honestly, I try to just enjoy the moments and laugh a lot, I guess. I love to laugh. And my girls are super, I don't even know how they do it, honestly, but they make it easy, even though it's hard, but they make it, I don't want to say they make it easy, but they make it tolerable, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Those blessings, even though it does have its trying times, those blessings and those moments, like
Yeah.
the other parents tend to really miss out on
Oh
this.
yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
very much, very
Yeah.
much. Um, yeah, I'll never get it and understand it, but yeah. And crazy thing you said, dating. That's that other dinosaur. Because one, dating in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's tragic.
That's one.
Yeah.
But just when you start to tell someone and you go through the little motions on, hey, you got kids? Yeah, I got two. Hey. Me personally, that's one of the first things I throw. Yes, I have a child with autism. I'm gonna throw that out now, because you got them people that don't want to date
Yeah.
kids, or you don't want to date them if the kids is below this, or if the kid got a disability. I'm gonna just go ahead and throw that out there now. So if by chance we ain't wasting nobody time, if this
Yeah.
ain't, yeah, we.
I like to put it out there too, because yeah.
So let me ask you this then. Have you ever thought about leaving the state of Texas and going somewhere where you have more support, or like,
Medical support, yes.
yeah,
But I can't, like, I don't even know how I would do it. Like, granted, at this moment, I do everything on my own. I take my kids to all their appointments. Every now and again, I'll have to call my mom and be like, hey, can you pick somebody up or whatever? But I pretty much do it by myself. But I don't know how I would do it by myself in a completely different place, not knowing anybody, not having any help. I just don't know how I would do it. I would love to venture out, and because I know there's other states that probably have better, more advanced treatments and all kinds of stuff for sickle cell, but I don't know how I would do it. I don't know how I would do it.
Because I've gotten that question before, and what people don't understand, and it's not that we don't want to move. When you have gone through that struggle of finding the right doctor, the right this, right that, and you
Yeah.
are looking to venture out and go somewhere else, that's a whole nother process of you having to go to another state and you going back through this process of
Even
finding
another
this doctor.
city. Even
Yeah.
another city.
Yeah. You got to find this cardiologist, this neurologist,
Yeah.
this. Like, you got to go through that cycle again. And then, sometimes with certain situations, we don't take this age group, or we're not taking no more
Yes.
new patients. So people don't understand that struggle, because man,
Yeah.
it's real
hard.
out here in these doctor streets.
Yeah.
Trying to find people, good people,
Yeah,
doctors.
because you see them all the time, so you need to you have to have a good rapport with your you have to,
Yes.
or it just doesn't work. And
Yes.
I've had experiences with some doctors that we just did not see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That is an important part. You have to think about that. That's huge.
Very, because I'm telling you, I've been asked that question. Well, won't you move out of San Antonio? I was like, first of all, that means I have to find a new neurologist. I have to find a speech therapist. I have to find an occupational therapist. I have to switch insurances.
Yeah.
The insurance is transferred. I have to I gotta find a new PCP. I gotta find a PCP and figure out, okay, is this PCP gonna be okay with prescribing this medication? If he's not, then that means I have to find another doctor that's gonna be okay with prescribing it. Like bam, you have to do. That's a whole the jobs that a caregiver or a parent carries. We have multiple jobs. We might only getting paid for one, but we have multiple jobs. Because them phone calls you sitting on, especially now, COVID is worse. You calling to make an appointment, you waiting on hold 45 minutes plus. Yeah, you just waiting. Everything is so super lengthy now.
I know at work they're like, you're always on your phone. I'm like, because I have kids.
Yeah.
Just because I'm at work don't mean I'm not any time that I have a chance, I'm in the break room making a call to somebody it never stops.
Yes. Because even with me now, I'm not working with kids, I'm in the kitchen. So my trusty headset, I'd be like, I got music in, but I'll be like this. And I'm on hold. When they ask or when they call, just hit the button. I done made 2 appointments. Bam, there go. Answer this questionnaire for this doctor, because now every doctor wants you to answer the questionnaire when somebody call or when they email. So it's like, you don't think I got enough stuff on my plate? It's like never ending. You're constantly. It's something that you're doing constantly, but it is, oh man, yes. So I like I said, I get it. So with you being a single parent, how hard is it for you financially?
Oh man, it's hard. It's more than hard. It's impossible. It feels like it some days. It's hard. That's all I can say. I don't know how I figure it out. I've become very creative and it's hard. It's super hard. It's impossible. Even I've had arguments with my parents before because they're like, you need to save and you need to do this. And I'm just like,
save what?
How? And they're, my parents are like, we struggled when we were married and I'm like, that 1975 struggling versus 2021 struggling with 2 kids, that is completely 2 different types of struggles. So don't even it is hard. It's hard. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because people will be fast to, like I said, they holler assistance. Like, you ain't getting no assistance. I wish.
That part. Oh my God.
There's no, oh, okay, well, I'm a single parent, I'm this, and I got 2. Oh, well, let's give you some housing. They ain't doing that. We gotta go through the same struggles as everybody else, and then turn around and be told, with food stamps or something, oh, you can get $10. What?
Yeah, just because if you make any money, you're not getting no help. Period.
I don't care if
you can't make nothing.
You not getting nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. Which to me is so backwards. It's like, the people who are working, why not give them the little boost that they need? And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. But
yeah, and you really be trying to like make it make sense.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It literally doesn't.
Yeah, and it don't. And I'll look at other people that I'm working with, and they, especially when they started giving out them bonuses on them food stamps, I'm like,
I didn't get it because my kid's school opted out of it and didn't even take a poll or anything. I didn't know that schools had the options. If your school didn't opt into whatever that was, then So I didn't know that. I'm so glad, and I was shocked on the school Facebook page. One of the white moms inquired, and I was like, yes. Find out our school opted out, so that we couldn't claim it. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Which is weird to me. I want to dig deeper into finding out. It has to do. I'm sure it has something to do with money. Yeah.
Probably. Because I know like they had that insurance, that food stamps, and then just like the regular people, they were getting it. Well, they might have been getting 6, and then they should double to like 18. I'm like,
a month?
Oh, girl, they've been balling. They've been giving them extra food stamps through this COVID, what's the name? And the last one that they had, they got a big jump. I know the
no wonder the crab legs are so expensive.
Had got like 3,600, and baby, when I tell you it wasn't shit on the shelves, because I have a child with a disability, and he like what he like, and I go get what my baby like, and it ain't on the shelf, because all the people with food stamps then went shopping and did that. And let me just be clear, I'm not hating on nobody for food stamps. Lord, I ain't,
because I ain't getting them.
If they would give me more than $10, I'd be on there cheesing and being there swiping my damn card just like y'all asked did. But y'all can share with us
please. Please share.
Yeah, say. But real talk, there was these bonuses, and I know like some people, one person that I know, they was only gonna give her $36, but because they was giving out this extra bonus, she started getting the max. And the max was like $600 and some dollars. They all just got another increase like Thursday or Friday.
So
maybe I should just try to reapply.
I'm listening and I'm learning. So
that the struggle is real.
Even though you have 2 kids with disabilities, you are not able, or you do not qualify for assistance from the government.
The only thing that they do get is Medicaid through Social Security. That's it.
That is batshit crazy to me.
But the crazy thing is, if I make so much money, once I hit that mark, they won't be qualified for it, which is ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. That's to me, that's batshit crazy. Like,
yeah, it really is. It's like a trap.
Yeah. I can see if you had 2 healthy kids, and I'm like, okay, maybe, but you got 2 kids that have disabilities, and that should be an automatic. To me, again, it's just me thinking, an automatic qualification for the max, because it's like you saying, just the things that you got to do and all the stuff that you have to do, you're putting your livelihood, your job in jeopardy.
Yeah.
So I was just like, and
like she said, the jobs are not understanding when you have to take off to take a kid to a doctor's appointment, or when you have to leave to go pick them up because they done got sick. When you start having missing income, like you don't have that full 2 weeks on a job because you had to take this child here, they had this double appointment here, and then your boss is looking at you upside your head because you got all these appointments. Well, when COVID kicked in, a lot of these doctors' offices don't take appointments after 3:00. So in order for me to take my
specialists,
the specialists, there you go. The specialists,
they be gone.
Oh, baby, 2:00. They will. They ain't even 2:00 is when they close. Their last appointment is like 1:15.
Yeah.
So with me, because I have that situation, I drive from the east side way out to 1604 Lock Hill Selma going to Fiesta, Texas. That's a 45-minute drive.
Oh gosh.
So I gotta leave in enough time to go pick him up from school and then make it across town.
That's crazy.
So that's what, 3 hours off my check?
I don't even want to talk about paychecks. Oh Lord.
Man, that's what I'm saying. When you
not without a box of tissue.
Like you yeah, like that compensation, like stuff like that. Like
yeah.
When I tell you it's hard in these parental caregiver streets, people do not understand the struggle, because the first thing they'll holler is, get food stamps, get this. Oh no, they ain't loving me like that, boo. I'd be like you got the same amount of kids I got. You work here, but you getting 9 something. They only want to give me $10.
That's ridiculous.
And I got a child with a disability.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I make it make sense.
Sometimes I'm not political at all, but sometimes I'll be wanting to like figure out how to like go to the Capitol or something, because ain't nobody speaking up for us.
No.
The people who don't have a clue, are the ones that are making these rules and these laws and
Do it.
And see, and I'm gonna go there because I'm gonna speak for the parental caregiver people. I agree, Dana. You definitely should write a book. I definitely agree. But I also know, as a parent, when your table is already full, you ain't got no room. You ain't got no room for self. When you start hollering books and all this other stuff, you looking like, where I'm gonna put it at? Because you already spread thin. Where I'm gonna put it at? So I know.
True. Because there's like a bajillion things that I want to do, but I don't know how, because I don't have nothing left. I don't have nowhere to pull from.
Yeah.
I know. I guess I need to find somewhere. I don't know. Pull it out the air, borrow somebody else's.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
You be trying to pull sleep from somewhere. You like, wait, hold on. I ain't had no. Like you said the other night, you were up. You have to get up at 4 a.m. When baby girl had to be, go to the emergency room and everything. You were up for over 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand.
Looking crazy. Yeah.
People don't understand, because I've been there. My child just started sleeping when he turned 8, longer than 4 hours. So people don't understand when you ain't getting no sleep and you in zombie mode and you pulling from fumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You caffeine high in it, trying just to keep your eye like,
yeah.
Like, people don't understand, but they do be quick to say, well, you should do this, and you like, so you gonna help me? Because I ain't got nothing.
He did offer his help.
He did, and I love him for that. He did.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. So if I do ask for some help,
and if he don't give it to you, let me know. Because I'm a
not. See, okay.
But I will say this.
What I'm gonna say is, like, I hear everything you're saying, but I was looking at it also from the therapeutic point of view.
Yeah, therapeutic and financial. Because me and her were talking about side hustles. Like, because the job market, dealing with, when you gotta deal with that extra, you be like, okay, I need to be an entrepreneur. I need some other resources where I'll be. But at the same time, you like, when the fuck am I gonna do this shit? Because I already got this. Like, you be thinking, but then you like thinking too, how, when, where, how am I gonna do it? Like, Yeah, that part. And that part is the hard part because I mean, I know for me, it's like I ain't asking for a lot. I don't think I'm asking no more than from what the next person is asking. But you just want them little the little things. But then when you start seeing what your support system look like,
Yeah.
it's, that's like a bad word. Support
Yeah.
system. That you be like, what you really start. Where that support at? Can I order some? Can I order some support system off Amazon? Because that support system is
Yeah.
baby. That's
Yeah.
a whole nother dinosaur. Like
It's too many.
I don't care if it's family, friends, whatever. Like I can tell you, far besides me, don't nobody know my son better than his male teacher that he didn't have for the last few that for like the last 4 years. He know my son like he know his kids, like the back of his hand. Don't nobody know my son like that, like he do. He know when he can push him. He know when he had that day where he got to take that 5 or 10 minutes. He know when he got to take a nap. He's like, all right, we're gonna get this nap, and after that, bam, game time. Besides me, he's that person. He know. He can tell you when he walked through the door to school. He can already tell you where they going. We didn't message it. He's like, so see, my boy ain't feeling it this morning. Let him take this 30 little minute nap. We gonna see where we are from there. We're gonna push on and see. And that's how we operate. We message every morning. Hey, and he didn't sleep
That's
too good.
awesome.
Like he knows my baby, and I love him for that. But he knows my baby. Like I can't tell you other people know my
Yeah.
baby like that. He know him. He know what make him tick. Like he know. So I appreciate that, especially on that school end, because sometimes it's just some days that they ain't feeling it. Just like us going to work. Some days we ain't feeling it. We sitting in the parking lot looking like, bitch, I'm finna call in, and I'm sitting in the parking lot and I'm finna call in. I know they see me, but I'm finna call it. Like sometimes they're not feeling it, and sometimes you have a teacher that's compassionate, and sometimes you have a teacher that just don't give a damn. And be like,
Yeah.
well, what you want, those things. It really matters in their day. Like, because sometimes that's just they need. Sometimes they need that person outside of us that to show that they care.
Yeah. That's true.
They know where we stand, but sometimes it's like the world is against them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's true.
yeah, it's man say it is just it's just hard in these streets. Like
It is.
like, man, I'm telling you, that's all you can say because it is. And I salute you
I
because
salute you.
whew, it's hard.
It
Like
is.
and I'm telling you what we do. I don't know why God picked us, and He probably picked us because everybody's not equipped to do what we do.
That is so true.
Period.
Most days I don't feel like I am equipped, but
Exactly. I'd be like, "Ooh, Lord, did you pick the wrong person?" Because like, when I'm running on fumes, I just be sitting here like,
like, you sure
yeah. I'd be like,
it was
so
me?
you signed me up for this, right? You sure you didn't pick the like? You was going down a list that you picked the wrong, like your finger didn't slip. I'd be like, ooh, 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 yeah. Matter of fact, while we having that conversation, it was something else I wanted to bring up, and the DW is probably finna be in a whole nother moment with this, with what I'm finna ask you. Um, what many people may not know is when you have a child with children with disabilities, there are certain things that you have to do extra that we don't want to do. And the realest part of that is when you have to create power of attorney and wills
Oh, yeah.
when you have children with disabilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
as you stated, baby girl is finna turn 18.
Yes.
And
So on Monday, that's what we're gonna have to do at her appointment. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But thankfully, when we do, the social worker and the psychiatrist that works in that clinic will be present. So
Good.
I'll have some support because I might be a mess, because that's just nothing that you want to,
Nope.
you just don't. But it's necessary. So
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say, I understand the emotional part, but that's something that not just because you have kids with disabilities, but just because you have kids in general, you got to think about that. What's going to happen when if God forbid something happens to you?
Yeah.
Who's going to take care of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And as you speak that, the other part usually for most people is when you don't even have nobody to leave your kids with.
Jeez.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
That's a whole it adds a whole different level of worry.
Well, when you don't trust the people to take care
Meaning
of your kids.
meaning you don't have. Because if I don't trust you, that means you don't have.
Right.
Point blank period. You don't have trust nobody. You don't. That means you don't have. Period. That's what that means. You don't have nobody to leave them with. It adds to a whole different thing on your plate. And again, that feeling of, "Who, Lord, I can't die, Lord Jesus."
Yeah.
I can't. I can't. I gotta be here for my children. I gotta be here, Lord. I can't just. Please just leave me here as long as possible, please.
Yeah.
Lord. Like that prayer
is regular.
Man, that is a daily prayer, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Man, it's a whole different thing.
It is. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. Like man, our hearts be heavy.
Yeah.
Man, our hearts be heavy. So it is. And I know, like I said, when it was brought to me from his autism counselor, I was like,
yeah.
Huh? And when she sent me the book, I was like, this ain't no Christmas present. Hello. I don't want this. Like, you could have warned me, put something on that, don't open till after Christmas. Something. I opened that and it felt like I got mule kicked. And I was like, and for Black folks, this is also one of them things for Black folks. Black folks don't want to. That's one of them things that's taboo. Black folks don't want to do and don't want to have that discussion and face that reality that we need to get stuff in line, even if there's no kids involved or the kids is grown. We have to get wills and everything in line, because let's be for real, we don't act right. When people pass away, we don't act right.
No.
We get all out of pocket. People want to start claiming stuff that ain't theirs, and like we get out of pocket. And that's one of them things that we don't want to deal with.
It goes deeper than that, though. And how I found this out when my grandfather passed. If there's no will, that everything that's in his name goes to the state. The state, it goes to the state.
Yeah.
And then after they get their whatever, then they'll divvy out the leftovers to the family.
So the state always has dibs on something?
Yep.
I don't like that.
It's crazy because it's a lot deeper than that, and we
Something
can
that they
go
have
into
nothing to do with getting, and they get a piece of it.
automatic.
They don't want to give
the
you.
same thing with that's the same thing with even with if you do have a will or whatever, your family, whoever's left, still has to pay a death tax. And I found that out.
Pause.
Yes. Yes.
Pause. Did you say a death tax?
Yes. A death tax on your property. Yes, they do. And I was just like, and I found that out when I was doing mine, and I was just like, whoa, I'm out.
Oh my
So
God.
you mean to tell me they're gonna have to pay after I die? They was like, yeah. So that's another reason why I was like, you know what? I got a trick for that. I'm gonna get me a life insurance policy. So my life insurance policy is an amount that's gonna pay for everything and still have stuff left over. So yeah, shout it, it's a lot. And I see how and why. Well, I see how debt is passed from generation to generation. I can see that, and
Wow.
because of stuff like that, and I'm just like, bro, that's crazy. But
That
yeah,
is, man, you just didn't mess me up with that one. I wasn't even ready.
I know.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't. I will definitely say that I wasn't even ready.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, bro. Yeah. But yeah, y'all doing the right thing. Wait, stop. Something just clicked with me.
Uh oh.
You said your baby went to the ER a couple days ago.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Remember, I sent that in the
Yeah.
what's the name and told her she had to be rushed. She had to have emergency surgery and.
Don't you need to be getting?
Yes, but
I know the conversation good, but you know the baby. You know how I feel about the babies.
I
I
know.
feel about the baby.
Yeah, definitely. Like I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate you so much.
No, I
and-
appreciate you giving me this opportunity to talk, because I guess I have stuff to say.
yeah, and
I appreciate it.
like we
You got a
talked
lot to
about
say.
last night was, like you said, you've lost family members, you lost friends due to your kids having medical issues.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's just selfish. That's all that is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep it 100. You know me. That's just selfish.
It's I agree. The DW, I agree.
And you know what? Fuck them.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, but I do. I my hat goes off to you, because baby, baby. If I had to do what I had to do for Asante with two Asantes, baby, that's all I can say is baby. But I salute you because, like I said, I know I've been told what you do for yours, I wouldn't be able to do for mine, and many don't. They just ain't.
Yeah.
It definitely takes some super strength, and some faith and some prayers, and it
And
takes
some
a
coffee
lot.
and some wine.
Yes, because we don't get them breaks to go on
No.
trips.
You should just whine. You don't have no yak in the back.
No, I don't do yak.
Chestnut said some yak.
No yak.
Oh my
That
God.
jerk and jerk. What?
Yes.
No.
Yes. So we make that sacrifice for our kids.
Yeah.
Many don't understand it, and you don't ever do nothing for yourself. Okay, well, guess what? That don't fit in my schedule, because if I do go somewhere, I still gotta. I have to make sure I got somebody that's responsible and suitable for him, without having my nerves wrecked. Because I'm be like,
Yeah.
you all right? You would do like Yeah, I need cameras or something because I don't I just can't trust people with my baby. So it's like you're not going on vacation anyway because you're worrying about them.
Yeah.
So
It's not a vacation.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, people won't understand, but we are going to go ahead and close out,
Okay.
so that you can go back into your mother caregiver little moment and things. But before we leave, is there an outro, something that you would like to say, something to others that may be in your shoes?
Just don't quit. I think that's because I think there's been many times where I've wanted to quit, but I mean, you can't quit on your kids, so just keep going. And I've found so much strength in this challenging journey. Although I wouldn't wish it on anybody else because it's hard, but I feel like I like me, and I'm proud of myself for who I've become, and I know I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't have weathered some storms and gone through some really hard things and lost some friends and had some heartbreak or whatever. But it's a journey and it's hard, but I'm appreciative of the lessons, so I'm glad that I didn't quit and kept going, and I'm still going. And so that's it.
Definitely. DW.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for coming on and enlightening me on the depths of sickle cell. I knew of sickle cell. I knew people who had sickle cell, but theirs was a later onset, later in life onset. So thank you for enlightening me. Again, hats off to you for doing the job, for stepping up to the plate. Because again, like you said, you could have. I'm gonna throw this out there again. Write that book. What else can I say? Write that book, and then and then write the book. But, I'm gonna say, if I want to apologize on behalf of the men, because understanding that raising two kids with an illness is very hard, and for an individual who helped create them to leave, I understand people don't get along, but you do not abandon your babies, especially when they need you the most. So that's a hard pill for me to swallow, and I want to apologize for that happening to you. And if he's listening, you's a bitch. So on that note, that's all I got. I appreciate
y'all are so
everybody.
awesome.
Appreciate y'all for paying
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Can we keep the chat now so I can still say hi?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
What happened? What, I missed something?
No, she was asking, can we still keep the chat open? I told her, yes, ma'am. Like, she kind of stuck with me at this point.
I know. Yeah. I'm happy.
Yes, because that just like she said, it's hard when you're talking to people that don't understand. When you actually find somebody that's in the trenches, man, it's like the heavens, like it's really like that, because then you have somebody that understands. Like me talking to somebody else, they're like, so you can't leave him with his grandma, or you can't go on a trip, you can't save $1,000 in like 2 weeks. No, bitch, I can't. No, I can't. Like it'd be like you talking to people. It's like talking to a wall. People don't understand because they're not in the trenches. They don't have the same shoes as you. So getting people to understand and comprehend.
You got some big ass feet though too. So yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, C. Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be that kind of thing. But yes, ma'am, we can definitely do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
not a problem.
Good.
So I would say this. Definitely, and we know Black culture, there's always that issue with getting our kids tested, um, getting therapy, going to a therapist. Like, bitch, we need that. Like, don't care what your mama, your great aunt, and them gotta say. As DW clearly said earlier, fuck them.
Yeah.
Do what's best for you.
Yeah.
Do what's best for your children. But don't just throw your children out there or just leave them hanging.
Yeah.
Like, our responsibility as a parent is to make sure that our kids are good, that we're doing what we can to help them survive, be better individuals, to get them the services that they need so that they can be better, and that they do know how to take care of themselves, and those things. Like, people don't understand when you're teaching people, that little trip about, oh, you're teaching your son how to wash clothes. Hell yes, because if something does happen to me, I need him to be able to learn how to do these things for himself, because I don't want him to be a burden to anybody. That is like one of my other big issues.
Yeah.
Granted, he needs to learn how to do that anyway. And just as an adult, growing into life, because as an adult, he gonna have dirty clothes to wash, and 18, and mom ain't finna be washing your shit. Like, he needs to learn how to do this.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought of something.
What?
I'll probably open another can of worms.
Mm.
I just realized your baby is 18, which means college is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had that talk last night too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's wanting to go, but she wants to go far.
Where?
Where far?
Yeah.
She want Howard, Spelman, and there's one in Boston. I can't remember the name of it.
Boston is
HBCU. Okay.
And then here she wants to go UT, TSU, Baylor.
Don't go to UT.
No.
No. Don't go to UT.
Okay.
Baylor, TSU, yeah, I say TSU because it's right across the street from University of Houston. So,
is that a good school, University of Houston?
Yes. UT is the reason why I say don't go to UT. UT, I don't know if their reputation has changed, but they were known for a party school more than anything else.
Oh.
So they don't tell you that. They have a very high dropout rate. They don't tell you the graduation. They'll tell you the graduation rate. They don't tell you the dropout rate. Yeah.
That's some good inside information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he normally has that information on that stuff. He's big in the HBCUs and
I really want her to go to a HBCU. I really, really do.
Howard is a good one. I think.
But it's too far. She can't go that far.
It's just hard to. Howard is very hard to get in because they get the cream of the crop. They have their what is it? The requirements is a 3.6 GPA, and it was something else. I forgot what it was. Spelman is not as hard. Then you also have Clark, which is around the corner from Spelman.
She can't go that far. She has to stay in Texas.
So okay. Then you got, I would say TSU. You got Prairie View. You got.
What about that Houston Tilts in Austin?
That's a good.
Okay, we'll have that discussion when we. When we end the broadcast, stay on and.
Yeah.
Okay.
I already see that finna go.
Yeah.
That's gonna go left.
Well, we're gonna have to do this after I get to where I gotta get.
Cool.
Yeah,
That'll work. So we're going to go ahead and close out. Like I said, get your kids tested, get services. Don't just leave them out here untreated, undiagnosed, that kind of thing. Next week, I'm super excited. We have a relationship guru that will be on with us next week. We're going to be talking about dating, back to the basics, hitting that reset button, because some of us be dating wrong as hell.
It's not just dating, just relationships, friendships, all that shit.
I mean, yeah, most deaf. But like I said, we be out here dating wrong as hell, and
that's why a lot of people talking about I can't fuck with everybody. That's why you looking at it wrong.
Yeah, so we gonna try and get our life right, even in these.
When is this gonna be again?
This is next Saturday.
Okay, I'm tuning in.
And I'm yes, I didn't.
I'm gonna give me some wine and I'm gonna be ready with a notebook and pad.
He is super duper awesome. I have definitely. I think for about 2 months I've been following him, and he's like, man, I think we did a test. The three of us did a test the other day that he sent, and Jesus, I was like,
I'm excited.
So it was good. It's good stuff. Learning, lots of learning. I'm learning a lot from him, and he's very awesome. He has his own podcast as well, and then he's on another podcast with 5 awesome dudes. That is some of the realest dudes that I've seen in a long time that are very honest and transparent about their shit, and I'll be loving them to pieces.
Damn, I'll get some shit then, huh? Okay.
Their podcast. I watch a lot of podcasts, especially since I started podcasting. That podcast is my favorite podcast. Real talk. Because I learned some stuff, and they real with it, and they're on point with the stuff, the topics, the stuff they talk about, and I love them to pieces. So we will have Mr. Derek Jones on next week from Relationship Gumbo and Relationship Gumbo podcast. So I am definitely excited about that next week. So we will end. We will see y'all next week. Enjoy, and we are out. Stay on, Dana.
Appointed or chosen for this here time. I don't want what you got, I only want what's mine. This right here is for you that crossed the line. All up in the club screaming, dip, she mighty fine. Walking up to me, trying to cop a feel. Whisper in my ear, talking about your $1 million. Nah, that's cap, you got 1 million baby mamas. And Jazzy walked away cause she ain't even about the drama. Don't ever in your life try to put your hands on me.